possible Talia is available, and he is just going to lock that in. I feel like a lot of the mid lane is knocked out in terms of the priority order. The LCK, Talia is just going to come through. Is it just going to be Gnar for Dudu? Yes, it is. Well, no big surprises in the draft so far, but it is going to come down to execution. I feel like mid lane is going to be really important because top lane, we tend to see the Renekton have pressure early, even though Gnar scales well into the matchup.
Just go for the full clear here. Try to get level 6 on the Scuttle with the help of your team. Might lose his Raptors, though. His in comes Scout and Sponge, but Peter is here as well. Sponge trying to get out with the Spell Shield. He's going to get extremely low as they follow over the wall. I think eventually the damage comes through. That's again first blood for Pyosik. That's 3 games in a row where Pyosik has first blood. It's kind of crazy, incredible. And yeah, it's a nice knockback here from Scout to kind of save Lehens' life, who also had to flash away.
So it's a slight advantage to DNS, but so many summoners. Oh, Lehens.
He doesn't have flash. I think he's, yeah, the Q comes through, and eventually Lehens just goes down. So Duckdom says, I hope you're happy that you stopped my back, but I'm also going to send you back to the fountain. Dude, taking a bit of damage here, but he's not under any threats.
One shot, you can survive for such a long time on the Fury. I think that makes sense. Oh no.
We got a Fury up on the top side. They're trying to go all in, as now maybe it's Pyosik who's in a bit of trouble. The stun does come through, but he's able to go up in the air. Now Closer is here, and Kingen's in a lot of trouble. And Scout to follow, as he doesn't really have anywhere to go. He doesn't have a wall. Has his flash. And Sponge actually does come back here and helps out in the 2v2 and pushes them away on the top side of the map. We got so many members of Nongshim here.
So this is interesting because they're keeping Dudu here. He does dodge away from that. Oh no, Peter.
Yeah, they're going to catch Peter in transition, and that is the karma that you can always engage on. And they throw a decent amount into him, a couple ults at least. Closer trying to keep them around with some damage here. Diablo just going to flash forward and looks for more, as there's the hook coming in from Lehens, as he's able to get some value out of that Nautilus.
DNS looking for an angle to contest.
I mean, Pyosik can always put his face in there as an Fury and just threaten. But Nongshim have a pretty good spot here. We got double TP coming in, a Rift Herald fight.
This is a Gnar with no Gnar bar, by the way.
Yeah. And no lethal tempo, so he's not even really chunking as they pull it all the way out and they get the smite down. And now Kingen is in that back line, a huge amount of damage on that. The Paranoia comes through. And now they're going to look for the engage straight onto the Karma. Everything thrown at Peter, the poor guy. This is not able to avoid all of that. The Combat Herald as well going to be immediately used as they look to charge into mid lane. Spun's going to take some damage, but this is still a big win over to the side of Nongshim.
And throughout that entire passage of play, Closer didn't get a single chance to ult, so a big aspect of the power of that champion not really getting utilized.
Yeah. I mean, they were set up very nicely on that objective, and it just felt like DNS were trying to force a fight. Now they're trying to go in on a Kingen here, who is a Renekton, doesn't have the Dominus quite yet. He's taking a ton of damage, but they can't quite kill him as Duckdom comes over and finally.
Actually, constantly putting the Aurora into Renekton, the Gnar into the Talia. They are fishing for something here.
I mean, they're going to chase them down. This is not really going to work, though, as now they're going to turn straight onto the Sivir. As a lot of heals and shields do go down onto Duckdom, keeps him alive.
Yeah, it was a weird setup for the play because they were going for Lehens, but he still has all summoners.
Pyosik, awkward spot here, not able to avoid the Nautilus. That is not a position an Fury should be in, and he just dies.
But especially against a Nocturne.
All right, we're going bot. This is mini Gnar for now, as the knockup not going to land.
Value from being grouped together, but they just keep ending up in these split situations. Dudu's Mega Gnar times out as he jumps in.
Yeah, he also got stunned by the back part of the rocks, so just jumps in, doesn't do anything, and has to run away.
For the next little while. Kingen is on a flank with full Fury, and that was very early from Pyosik.
Pyosik's like, I can use this Mega Cone. What's going on mid?
What is the Sivir doing?
Yeah, I don't know. He's going the wrong way. And Diablo's like, well, I guess I'm just going to kill him. Sometimes we don't highlight when the players have a rough time, but we need to see that one. Absolutely. As they're trying to get in here, as there's the engage, they're going to find the Nefiri, and Pyosik eventually just tries to run away, tries to flash over the wall. Bit of damage into Diablo, who is left all by his lonesome on the backside of this fight. As now Dudu taking a bit of damage, but Meganar's coming up. I mean, maybe an angle for him as he goes into the Baron, and he's going to hop over the Baron, trying to create space for Closer, who picks up the kill. Sivers here, and all of a sudden, Noxin, they've been playing with their food, and it will come down to the smite going the way of Sponge, but what about the team fight? Kingen, the last person with Baron left on the team. And, you know, a flash Q comes through, the root is there, and no hopes of a disengaged cone. It is an ace for DNS.
Nongshim just overplay their hand when it comes to the... Okay, here... yes, this is what happened. Knockdown got flipped. I think we're on the Baron for a bit too long. Wasn't taking enough damage. Couldn't finish.
All right, what are we doing here? Pyosik, he's going to get the red buff and die. And now we got Duckdom in a rough spot. He's going to go down and die. I think that's the way you should be playing this, honestly. I don't think we should have what happened on the Baron happen again. So that's the knockback on a Pyosik, but he is just going to hop over the wall, straighten the Sponge, takes a bunch of damage, flashes away. And now we got another fight here on the right side. The wall is going to knock everybody into this one. Closer going to go down, and so will Duckdom, as they were kind of separated from the rest of the squad. We got a TP coming in, as the Dragon also going to go over to the side of Nongshim, who pick up the soul. Scout's got an angle here, gives a taxi for Pyosik to actually get away from Kingen. And now Scout is like, I can't let you actually get away from here, but he still will. As now Dudu's going to get away with the Mega Cone.
Baron's up and available. They're pushing up mid, and Kingen's on a flank.
They're going to get corralled here big time. The spell shield is down, and everything is thrown into them. Scout able to get in, and he does so much damage at this point, even on Talia. And that's going to do it. Nongshim find the fight. Nice little angle there from Kingen. And all they got to do is push in this mid wave and take it down for the 2-1 victory.
To end their game losing streak, but it kind of felt like the momentum just started to fade after that game too. And Nongshim will put an end to their 10 series loss streak and push DNS to a 16 series loss streak on the back of that.